Good morning and welcome to the Chronic Pain Call-In Show. My name is Joseph of Borg. I come to you live each Sunday from Las Vegas, Nevada, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Feel free to call in and talk to me. Area code 725-333-4140. I look forward to taking your call. Helps to turn my mic on. Good morning. Welcome to the Chronic Pain Call-In Show. I'll apologize in advance. I am running on little to no sleep. Once again, surprise, surprise. We are having weather here in the Las Vegas Valley, which is exactly what I moved here to avoid. A little bit of rain, a little bit of drizzle. I'm running about a 35-second delay, it looks like, so I decided to let the intro run a little longer this morning. I want to thank you for joining me. Got my coffee going. And I just wanted to come on today and do a little background and tell you guys who I am. Tell you a little bit about my story, my chronic pain adventure, if you will. Why I'm making some videos, why you may want to tune in and listen to what I have to say. Maybe you think I'm full of shit and would rather not. You can call me live. Numbers right up there on the screen. Fast and loose this morning. So, for those of you who don't know, I am Joseph of Borg. My real name is Joseph Hedrick. I'm a chronic pain patient. I went with Joseph of Borg because I'm kind of a Star Trek junkie. Not quite, never went to conventions or anything, but just a big fan. And I got a spinal cord stimulator, which is a computer attached to my spinal cord that allows me to walk. And that's when I started making videos about under the name Joseph of Borg. So I'm originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm now retired in Las Vegas, Nevada. I moved here because of the weather primarily. I'm very sensitive to changes in the weather due to my health issues. So I moved to, for those of you who don't know the geography, Las Vegas is in the middle of a bowl of mountains, and that bowl of mountains is pretty much in the middle of a desert. So I was seeking the hot, dry, and most stable weather I could find. Also, I'm retired from the gaming industry, so if I was going to be able to continue to work, this seemed to be the obvious place to try and do it, since I lost my fine motor skills and couldn't deal anymore. I guess in a nutshell, I've had a lot of spinal issues. I've had, a bad back most of my life. Um, Things really came to a head, and like I said, I started making videos in 2012 because I was looking at spinal cord stimulator for treating my chronic pain. And I'll do a whole different video. I imagine I'll do like my pain cred, what's wrong with me, so that you guys can know exactly what is my main malfunctions. But in 2012, I started making videos and I started getting involved in the online chat and Facebook because there just was no information out there to speak of. There was very little that you could find about spinal cord stimulators at the time. I told my surgeon everything I was finding was horrific, and he told me, don't pay attention to that because those are only the people who don't have success. There is some truth to that with every major procedure, I think, in this internet age. But that's when I first started making videos, and I had intended to put together a clip of some of my earliest videos just to show you how bad they were. Not that I'm Disney now by any stretch, but just to show how bad they were. I don't really, I didn't get to it. Okay, the weather's had me fucked up. I've been trying to get back to the pool. Life is tough sometimes, and I don't get shit done that I really wanted to, so I apologize. But for my background in chronic pain, in addition to running a I guess it's a Facebook group, several Facebook pages, couple of YouTube channels about chronic pain. I've been around, at least since 2012, actively on YouTube. Long before that, in the chronic pain community. Um, I've been through a variety of pain management disciplines. I was very blessed to have some excellent doctors. If you don't have good doctors, hunt for good doctors. I know it can be frustrating, but uh, that's a whole separate big deal. But I was diagnosed with low back issues, and I can try and pull up a photo right now, but I'll probably crash the stream. So again, I don't need to get into all the particulars on this episode because I plan to keep coming back till I get some calls or I get some chats or I get some emails. I do want to thank those of you who spread the word and helped by interacting. If you can hit the like, it'll help me get more views, help more people find the information that I'm trying to present. But I'm gonna keep coming back until I get some of you guys to reach out, and I figured the best way to do that is tell you more about me. So I'm plugging it. Leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, tell me you think I'm an idiot, whatever. Uh, I've got the typical bag of horrors. They go together. Degenerative disc disease. I got some arthritis. I've got some blown discs. Blah blah blah. My lumbar spine. Uh, as soon as they did digital imaging of an MRI, they knew it wasn't surgical. Can't fix it. Um, Basically, because the bones have eroded to the point that it'd be like drilling into sheetrock. If you've ever tried to hang a picture, and you've put a nail in sheetrock, and it goes right through. So fusion was out, which meant pretty much surgery was out. So I was left trying to manage my pain the best I could. Oh, I've got some facet joint stuff. When it goes bad back there, it typically all goes bad. You guys know what I mean if you've got low back issues. Um, so I got to do some injections. I have had radio frequency ablations or RFA treatments. I had 2 rounds of those. If you've got questions about RFA treatments, we can talk about that. Leave me a message. Let me know what you guys want to hear about. Let me know some questions you got. Again, you can call me live. The number's on the screen. I'm not going to, recite it for you. You can call. You can email me at josephofborg@gmail.com. You can put something in the chat. You can put something in the chat live, and I will try to respond. I'm keep looking over here because that's where I've got my screen set up. So, uh, did the radio frequency ablations. I did those twice. I got caught up in a horror show of complications that is not going to have anybody happen to anybody else. It is so astronomically unlikely what happened to me that I don't usually even tell the story because I don't want to scare people unnecessarily. If you really want to hear about it and how things went with my uh, radio frequency ablations and my injections and whatnot, again, all you got to do is ask. I'm here. I need something to talk about because I'm determined to keep plugging away. I did go from like 20 views to 100 views. So again, thanks to those of you who are watching. I appreciate it. After the radio frequency ablations, they weren't lasting long enough. I had some complications. I had decided I needed to move on to something more permanent because they worked well till they didn't. Um, and my pain was so debilitating when it came back. And they were doing 8 spots at a crack in my low back. So that's a lot of needle traffic. Anyway, I then decided to get a spinal cord stimulator. I had about an 8-month wait where I was pretty much housebound / bedridden. Uh, did not leave the house much. Being out of bed and standing up vertically for more than 10 or 15 minutes would leave me with tears running down my face, even if I wasn't upset. So I'd be having a conversation like this with tears running down my face, which obviously is very socially awkward. Um, it probably took between arguing with insurance, and whatnot because my last RFA had worked long enough that I hadn't gotten treatment recently enough that they wanted me to start all over with physical therapy and everything else before I got my spinal cord stimulator. So we had to try and cut through some red tape. I was able to return to work with no opiates, no nothing, after my spinal cord stimulator healed in completely and I got it all tuned in, which probably took 6 months. Um, and I'm pretty much the poster boy for spinal cord stimulator success. I run a group just for people who are looking at getting spinal cord stimulators. Also, I will probably put a link up on the edit. I'll put it up there. I'll put it over the phone number just for a minute to click on if you are interested in getting a spinal cord stimulator. If it's something you're thinking about, want to know more about, I've got a channel just for that I'm working on. So again, pause it here, take that link, I'll put it in the edits. Um, I'm pretty much the poster boy for spinal cord stimulator success. I've had mine about 5 years. It really changed my life, probably saved my life, quite frankly. So um, now, on the other end of my spine, because I'm a two-time winner, um, during the time that I was working and dealing with my low back issues, I pretty much woke up one morning and it felt like I had oven mitts on. And I thought, well, that ain't good, especially when you're a casino dealer for a living. So, needless to say, I went to the doctor. Well, I was having numbness in my hands, um, and they wanted to image my cervical spine because of the first they did ultrasounds. They want I think they were looking for a blood clot basically. So then they went on did the MRI and of my cervical spine and saw that that was a horror show, pretty much just like my lower back was. Um, I have cervical issues level bilaterally level C4 and 5, so that affects both arms. It affects uh, everything that matters, is the way my doctor put it to me. Unfortunately, you're looking at breathing, bladder, bowel control. All four limbs pass through that area of your cervical spine. Um, the big diagnosis they've given me, along with the degenerative disc disease, the arthritis, is arachnoiditis. I won't get into the subtypes. Basically, I have scar tissue crushing the nerves in my cervical spine that go to pretty much everything, giving me a long-term prognosis of full C4 paralysis. So for those of you who that sounds like a bunch of gobbledygook and don't know what I mean, that's think Christopher Reeves. So pretty much from here down. Um, anyway, surgically, we're pretty much out of options. I did at one time have a cervical 3-level fusion to correct as much as they could, basically to buy me time and create space for the nerves. Um, the nerves can't be separated from the scar tissue. It was attempted. My surgeon literally put his finger on the scar tissue, and it sounds like it's beginning to calcify, which means it's turning into bone. So um, it's just slowly crushing those nerves. I have a new MRI that I recently got, and I will be reviewing that with my surgeon on the 30th. I have seen the images. I'm not a radiologist, but I've had enough practice with these images to know when it don't look good. So it is what it is. I manage that pain as best I can. I will again. I don't care to get into too much of the particulars on this show. I will do a show just about that and about my pain cred. If you can have street cred, I guess you can have pain cred, huh? Um, you know, we can get into what my pain feels like and all the particulars. But that, in a nutshell, is who I am. Um, what I've got going on. I'm here trying to reach out to people who may or may not uh, have started their journey with chronic pain and tried some of these other things. I am known, I guess, in the forums for giving a real balanced and upfront view of chronic pain and different procedures. I talk to hundreds of people a week who have chronic pain, so I hear a lot of different stories, and I'm basically just out here wanting to share the information and help you guys and reach out to you guys. I know I'm always encouraging you to reach out to me, so I thought I would tell you a little bit more about me. And that's basically my situation. I've gone through pain management and fast forward. I tried pretty much all the stuff they have to offer except for a pain pump in the side of span of about 2 years. And for those of you who are just starting some of this, I really want to be out here and help you guys and pass information. So again, look, I appreciate the exposure. I know you guys have helped spread the word about this because I got a lot more views this week. Um, I need some questions. If you can't make it live, leave me a question in the chat. Um, yeah, so like I said, I was terribly unprepared. I have no bumper for today to uh, entertain you while I leave to go get more coffee or anything. So the show is probably going to be relatively short. I see I've gone, it looks like just about 20 minutes. So a lot of professionals say that's a pretty good time to look to cut your video. So again, I'm just going to back out of here. Oh, before I do, I want to give a shout out to my wife. Uh, she supports the show. She has a small business slash hobby slash eBay store. Um, Everything I have for equipment, everything that even my internet connection she pays for. I use her work computer or her business computer. So I figured the least I could do is support her a little bit. I made about a 30-second, uh, I guess it's a commercial. I don't think of myself. It's hard for me to think of myself having a show. It's so foreign to me. And so here's a commercial for my wife's business. She sells she sells men's shirts. She also sells some old software and whatnot. If you want to help me get some better equipment, which I could dearly use, um, you know, pop over there and buy something. I'm going to run the ad. I'm going to come back, say goodbye if I don't have anybody in the chat, and I guess I will run the clip and we'll see what happens. I'm going to root for somebody to call me. My wife has an eBay store. If you'd like to help support the show, that's the best way to do it is through her store, because she sponsors everything I do. She sells old software that's sealed from the manufacturer, so if you're into old system games, PC games, or maybe you're just a collector of old cartridge games that are sealed, check out her store on renasresales.com. All right, I got my phone number back up. If you want to chat, if you want to call, uh, shoot me, leave me a message. Like I said, I'm kind of a mess today. I apologize. I will put a link to her store down in the description if you do want to go check it out. And again, if you're out there and you're in chronic pain, reach out, leave a message. I've been seeing some new people online who've got spinal cord stimulators and whatnot, and I'm going to be looking to reach out to some of them. Uh, Again, we're a community. There's millions of us. There's no reason to sit at home and feel like you're the only one because trust me, like I talked about last week, you're not alone. There's other people out here. We can network. We can have meaningful relationships in this digital age without ever having to leave the house. And I think it's important that we try and network. So with that, I am going to run my end screen so that I can put my links up for my other channels if you want to check them out. Again, I apologize for not having my act together better this morning, but I want to try and keep it real with you guys. Otherwise, uh, it just becomes a highlight reel of a life that I'm not really living, and that's not going to help anybody. Um, with that, I'm going to thank you again for spending time with me this Sunday morning. I wish you all the success managing your pain. I hope to hear from a bunch of you. God bless. Joseph of Borg, I'm out of here.